right, it's time for Book Chat. Let's talk about an amazing book. Now, we have a beautiful young lady, an amazing author. We have Adanna Okpalanma-Chika, the author of Broken and Unspoken. Now, she is a certified counselor and marriage and family therapist based in Lagos, Nigeria, with over 8 years experience. 8 years. Wow, that's huge. We're happy to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to be looking deep into the book. I am super excited about this book. And when I got the book, the first thing I said to my producer when I got the book was, I love the branding of the book. I think it was properly branded. And I am someone who is so big on art and the symbolisms and symbols used in art. And the first thing I noticed was on the cover here. I don't know if you can see it. On the cover, we have someone, I believe this is a lady, maybe Mabel from the book.
Yeah.
Maybe Mabel, right?
Maybe,
yeah,
yes.
Mabel. So we have a lady holding a calabash and a broken calabash. And then you can actually see the leaves grow out from the calabash. Usually the leaves should grow from the center of the calabash, but it's broken from the side. Yeah. I understand this is not just because you wanted to do this. There is some symbol, some meaning behind this. Can you start with that, please?
Okay. I specially put that because I wanted people to even understand the concept of writing this book before you read it. A pot is broken. What do you do with a broken pot? You throw it away. But in brokenness, there is life, there is hope. And that's why instead of the leaves growing from the up, they found their way out of the brokenness. And so it's a story of hope. It's a story of resilience. It's a story that says, no matter how far you have gone, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Oh,
lovely. That is beautiful. Because I'm sure people who have read this and who will read this, they will be inspired by Mabel's story. Now, this is one that talks about the dynamics and of the trauma from broken home. And I'm just wondering, why the story? Because, I mean, there are a couple of different themes to talk about, but you decided to focus more on a broken home. She's also going through her son who is trying to get him on an asylum and all that. It's a tough world for her. Why the story? Is this from a personal experience? Or is this something you just thought out of while you were walking?
It's, I felt her story is so relatable. Like you will find yourself in some part of her story.
Okay.
I've had the privilege of sitting down with a lot of clients, and because of the confidentiality code that exists between therapists and clients, we don't have that privilege to talk about our experiences with our clients outside. And meeting Mabel, I would say, actually changed my life, because even in that pain, I saw so much strength in her. And I think it was the motivation that after all she went through, being able to sit down, it wasn't easy, but get to talk about it and then seek healing. I felt she needed to tell her story. But then I didn't want to tell it just like every other thing. I wanted to tell it as a therapist. So this is me telling Mabel's story. She could tell it in another way, but this is me telling her story. And I also wanted to bring out this thing about transgenerational trauma that people don't talk about. That really, like, instead of people think is when you get married, you get healed.
Wow.
But marriage actually brings it out, because it's two people bringing their traumas together. So there's trauma bonding. And instead of making it better, it makes it worse. So it's me creating awareness that before you say I do, you need to go check some things out. Because some traumas are not there. You don't even know they're there until you get married.
Wow.
And then you face a lot of life challenges and they come up. And so if you're aware of them and you deal with them, it helps.
All right.
So those are the...
that's a very interesting take, and I'm happy I'm doing this with a therapist, because I can ask personal questions and also questions that I've heard on social media. So I saw this sometime relating this to the book. A lady put out there, she said, I have healed from my wounds, but not my scars. Yeah. And I'm wondering, how did you help someone as a therapist even with a book like this, understand that no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through, there is still hope for you. Because some people will tell you there is no hope for them. That's why they take it as far as committing suicide. And, you know, they stay in that chronic depression where there is no opportunity to live. How do you advise such person who is saying, I don't think there is hope for me in life anymore?
First off, unfortunately, in the society we live in, there's so much secrecy. People don't like talking about things they're going through, maybe because of the culture, society, and everything. So what I always tell people is, the first person is you, your well-being, your happiness. And if that is your priority, you shouldn't care about what people think. So you should be able to talk to someone. Don't even talk to a therapist, talk to someone. And then talking to someone, talking is therapy itself.
True.
You might not even get the professional help, but for the fact that you were able to open up, you might be able to find out that other people are going through worse things than you are. And then when we talk about trauma, we all experience trauma. There's no one who is prone to trauma. You understand? Everybody goes through trauma. Driving here, I went through 1 or 2 traumas.
True.
Living in Lagos, you go through
it's
trauma.
traumatic on its own. True.
Everything. So when we begin to understand that these are things that we go through, we don't really have control over them, but we have control how they affect us.
Okay.
Now that's what I want to tell my clients. I might not have control about what happened to me in the past, but this is my life. I should be able to have control over what happens to me now. Okay. And so that's why I should deal with that. A
question that came to mind while you were speaking, I'm just going back to the book again, is how do you fix an abusive marriage? Especially when you know that your partner doesn't want to talk things through, you have basically been speaking to people, but you still get abused every single time. How do you fix an abusive marriage? Would you advise that people leave an abusive marriage, or is there a way to fix it while staying in the marriage?
As a therapist, first of all, I would want to ask my client, of course, if your life is in danger, first thing is to leave that environment.
Not necessarily the marriage.
Yes.
Just leave
the environment. Because you have to be alive to seek help.
True.
Okay. And then we begin to deal with it. But one thing you need to know is that most people who are abused don't even know they're abused.
Ooh. That's
because
deep.
We believe abuse is when he hits you.
When he gets physical.
When he gets physical. So emotional abuse is one thing people don't even understand.
Emotional abuse, but just shed a little light on that.
Emotional abuse is not physical. There are no wounds. But it's deep,
inside.
It's inside, and it's worse.
Wow.
Because there are no scars, and I can't even prove it. And the abusers are they are professionals, because they know you can't prove it. You talk about narcissists, people who outside they are different.
Yes.
They are nice, they are wonderful.
And it's hard for people to believe all the things we're even saying about them.
Exactly. So how do you deal with people like that? Is the awareness, creating the awareness, understanding that this is not right.
Exactly, and that's what you've done. That's what you've done with this.
That's what I've done.
All right, so I'm just wondering, how can people get this book? For those who are interested or want to have a copy of it, I mean, you cannot obviously have mine. You can't have mine, but for those who actually want to have a copy of this, how can they get this?
We have in Roving Heights.
Okay.
We have it in Roving Heights. We have it online. We have it in Seller.
All right.
Have it on Amazon.
And I'm also thinking they can connect you on social media and just reach out to you.
Media, yes.
All right, that is indeed beautiful. For those of you that want to have a copy of this, please, you can also reach out to the beautiful young lady on social media. What's your handle?
Serenity Springs 1. Serenity _Springs 1. Yes. All
right. Awesome. You can just reach out to her and then ask more questions. You can also book a therapy session, I guess.
Yes.
Yes, you can book that as well. I have plans to get married very soon, so maybe one of these days I'll just. But I've not found the lady yet. Every other thing is ready.
You're
I have
most
paid.
welcome.
No, I'm serious. I've paid for a hall.
Really?
Next year, May 7th is my wedding. May 7th next year is my wedding.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that because people are more interested in the ceremony than the wedding.
The issue now is that I have paid for a hall.
Okay.
I have bought the wedding gown. I have done everything. All that is left is
You
the
bought
lady.
the wedding gown.
I
So
bought the wedding gown.
how do you know? How do you know the lady's size?
It's one size fits all.
Oh
It's
no.
one size fits all. All right. Thank you so much for spending and
Thank
sharing your
you.
knowledge with us. We are
Thank
so
you.
grateful that you can share this. I'm going to ask more questions after. Personal questions. I don't want them to know my problems on TV. All right. Now, thank you so much for this amazing book. Again, please, you just heard that if you want this, you can reach out on social media. You can reach out to the website and platforms that she has mentioned as well. It's a great book for ladies who want to get better, and also for men as well.
For men.
How to treat ladies. All right, do not go anywhere. The show continues. We continue the show. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be right back.